Monday, everyone. At least I hope it's a happy one for you today. After watching the Super Bowl and seeing the halftime show last night, I got to thinking about my first ever in-person concert. And it was back in the late 1980s at the once named Star Lake Amphitheater. For those who grew up here around Pittsburgh, you know what I'm talking about. Huey Lewis and the News. That was my first concert. What an awesome band, and as I recall, a fantastic show. Now, since then, I've been to a few other concerts, seen a few other bands and performers. Chicago, Journey, REO Speedwagon, Styx, Billy Joel, Goo Goo Dolls, just to name a few. But when I got married to my wife, Brenda, going on 26 years now, we have gone to see the same band more than I care to count. Bon Jovi. Brenda absolutely loves that band. You know, in the comments, how about sharing what your first ever concert was, or who is your favorite band? Now, had this past summer been normal, John Bon Jovi would have been on tour. But like so many other things, the global pandemic put a kibosh on that. So instead, Bon Jovi, the man, not the band, filled in as a dishwasher at the JBJ Soul Kitchen, a non-profit community restaurant in New Jersey operated by the John Bon Jovi Soul Foundation. And one outcome of that is a new song he wrote with the help from his fans to their stories of life during the shutdown. The song is called, "If You Can't Do What You Do What You Can." The JBJ Soul Kitchen operates in 3 locations in New Jersey. It's a place that helps address food insecurity, hunger among people in need. The menu, which features fresh farm-to-table meals, has no posted price. People who can afford to do so donate to cover their own meal and the meal of someone else. Individuals or families who cannot afford to donate are fed anyway. And those who are able can pay it forward by volunteering for tasks in the kitchen, such as washing dishes. The Soul Kitchen website advises, please note that our in-need customers will always be seated first as they have no other options for dining. Our desire, John Bon Jovi says, is to make sure that anyone who needs a meal knows that they can come and see us. You know, hearing the story of the JBJ Soul Kitchen, it got me thinking about one of the stories of Jesus that has always fascinated me. In Mark's gospel, we hear this. Jesus sat down opposite the treasury and watched the crowd putting money into the treasury. Now, many rich people put in these large sums. A poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which are worth about a penny. Then he called his disciples and he said to them, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the treasury. For all of them have contributed out of their abundance. But she, out of her poverty, put in everything she had, all she had to live on." You know, in terms of buying power, the widow's offering that day was insignificant. Even in those days, a penny wasn't worth a whole lot. But to a widow who had no one to care for her, the amount she gave was beyond comprehension. What impressed Jesus was not the amount she gave that day. Instead, it was her devotion that motivated the gift that Jesus saw as phenomenal. Her complete trust in God, that God could do great things with whatever she had to offer, was what impressed Jesus the most. And that same kind of devotion has done more to help meet the needs of people throughout the centuries and even today than cash alone could ever do. You know, the one thing Jesus taught here is that a little can mean a lot when we do what we can. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10 says this, and I love Peter. Like good stewards of the manifold grace of God, serve one another with whatever gift each of you has received. Peter's referring here not so much about money like we hear in the story of the widow's mite. He's referring to the skills, abilities, and whatever gift that God has given you to do some good here. To offer yourself completely to God, to do whatever it is that God may call on you to do. Volunteering in the community, working with the underprivileged, collecting donations, offering your service free of charge to those in need, tutoring, helping the neighbor next door, shoveling the driveway of the elderly person across the street. I think you get what I'm saying here. Basically, in the words of Bon Jovi, you do what you can to make this world a better place by putting both our little and our much at God's disposal. So let's go out and be the people God calls us to be. Let's be the people who do what we can.